battle wounds. But the reality is, if someone has a slice of skin from you,
they can become you.
Hey! Hello, and welcome to Iconic Production. I'm gonna just leave that there for Rachel for a little bit. I am Becca, the person running this show, killing characters and introducing new ones. Technically, I guess my term is Keeper of the Arcane Lore. And we are playing Call of Cthulhu, Horror on the Orient Express, with a slight detour.
Just a deadly
Yeah.
detour, one might say.
It's fine. And yes, since I have cats, and I'm herding them in a general direction, if I lose one or two along the way, we are very upset about this. I just wanted to remind everybody that it was not John's fault.
No, it wasn't.
The party split up and then fumbled. It's on.
I did not fumble.
Anyway,
I
we'll
did.
get back to that.
Real bad.
Yes, you did. You rolled 100 on your sanity check.
That's fair.
Did I?
You
Yes.
did do that.
It's
Okay,
probably in my
I
text.
did.
You probably texted it to me. You can find it.
Maybe I did fumble. I forgot. I thought I just failed. Either way, dead. Kind of.
Gone. So, we are going to get eventually into these new characters, and I will let them be introduced in story. But Jenny and Paul have returned with new and wonderful people to embody and lose sanity with. Oh my gosh, though, you guys have so much sanity compared
so
to
sad.
Dude, I
everybody
got
else.
sanity
How
out the
much,
wazoo.
how much?
Right.
65.
How much you got?
67.
Well, that's because you haven't seen any dead bodies yet, okay?
I've got 70.
So yes, once again, cats. I am apparently one of them tonight, and so this is going to be fun. I hope you guys all enjoy, and think of it as maybe some closure. Maybe not.
Nah,
Probably
not yet.
I don't
Not
know
for
how
me
I feel
yet.
about that.
Probably not yet. But yes, thank you to Phantom of Truth for moderating. Thank you to JD for getting us on air and producing this week. And you guys ready for this? Yeah. So when we left off 2 weeks ago, but if you caught up on the rerun last week, we left off with Nellie waking up in her bed, fully refreshed and energized. Ricky barely holding on with 2 or 3 hit points left, being cared for throughout the night by Yasmina and I want to say Volkov, but that's not it. John's character, the Russian guy. I forgot his name. I am so sorry. I apologize. I am failing horrifically.
Awesome.
And this is why the power of notes.
My notes were all on the back of my character sheet.
I have to apologize because I didn't actually write down this. I wrote down murdered and insane.
It's okay, because it's John's fault for coming up with some Russian name that none of us could pronounce or spell.
Yeah, no, you didn't write it down. That's fine. No worries. It's okay. I apologize. But, you know, as he gives us subs. Hey, buddy. So, Ricky has been tending through the night. Nellie is fine. Mason is missing. Gertrude is gone from this world. Her body is who knows where. And Charlie walks into the room, the hotel room, with 2 companions, friends, strangers apparently. So, we're going to rewind time. That might have been where we left off, but we're going to go back several hours. We're going to go all the way back to the hunting lodge when the dashing Italian Mario came over to Charlie, introduced himself. Radovan Vasily. That's who John was. And Mario introduced himself to you. You guys hit it off. He was very friendly, pretty cute. And he offered to, pay for an evening in the Rose Garden. Knowing that your friends were going to be joining there sooner or later, you agreed and headed out. A few hours passed. You talked, you dined, someone might have gotten lucky. And Mario is asleep on the bed. And you are in the process of pocketing a... Let's just see how nice a wallet this one is. Yeah, a pretty nice wallet. When there is a knock on the door.
I'm assuming he doesn't wake up.
He does not wake up.
I'm gonna swiftly put the rest of my clothes on and open the door.
Okay. Yes. Yes. So you pull the door open a crack.
Yeah.
There are two people standing there. A rather tall woman in a very nice tweed suit, and a shorter gentleman in a suit that's a little rumpled. And it's one of those where you can't tell if it started out rumpled or if it got rumpled just because that's how he rolls. But you have the feeling that no matter what he puts on, it eventually ends up being rumpled.
I'm going to say in a very soft voice, hello, who are you?
Hello.
Miss Johnson, I presume.
Who's asking?
Well, myself and my friend here, name
Zero information.
Judith. We are looking...
Williams, darling. Williams will do just fine.
Like I said, Judith and I are looking for a Charlotte.
Who?
Charlotte Johnson?
For what purpose?
Just need to ask you a few questions,
Yeah,
dear.
just
Shouldn't take too long.
general curiosity.
And who are you?
Like I said.
Oh, this is Captain Marcus, I believe it was.
Oh, no. Captain Mort.
Mort. Okay, and you are?
I could have sworn I told you Marcus. I'm Judith Williams. At your service. You can call me Jude or Williams. I don't care. Just don't call me Judith.
And what is this regarding?
Life and death.
Nothing we want to get into here at this very public venue.
Alright, give me one moment. And I'm gonna go back inside the room, see if there's anything else I want.
Make a spot hidden check.
Spotted it. So close.
You want to use some luck?
I kinda do, but
Okay.
I feel like
Don't
there's
do
nothing
it.
else in here.
Go for it.
No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
Okay, and I grab my crowbar, shove it in my jacket, and leave.
Okay. You don't leave a note or anything?
No.
Okay. Poor Mario. All right. The door, you shut the door behind you. You look to these two. There's several different places you can go. Another room inside the Rose Garden.
I suggest somewhere else. Swiftly.
Restaurants are probably not going to be open at this time of night. But you could always go back to the lodge if you needed food.
I'd say the lodge would be a good place to adjourn.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Head to the lodge.
Okay, so you head on back. It's a cold walk. The town's kind of quiet.
Okay.
Is that awkward?
No, I would say I would be interjecting tons of conversation, asking questions about like Well, how did you end up at the Rose Garden? We heard rumors that you ran off with some boy.
Yes. Well, I'm rather hungry.
We can get a response
I see.
supper. Shouldn't be an issue.
Perfect.
Okay.
Where's the rest of your group, dear?
Yeah, we are looking for. I believe there are 4 of you, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
They should be meeting me at some point. Probably
Okay.
in the morning.
I mean, back at the hotel room at the very least.
Yeah. That'll be fine.
Okay.
And what exactly are you doing in this very peaceful town?
Yes.
Well, it's a long story.
Oh well, we're
We
here
have
to
plenty
listen
of time.
over dinner.
You're being interrogated.
Oh god. Okay. Did we make it?
You made it back to the lodge. Like it was awkward, and you were definitely stalling the entire time.
Cool.
But you made it back to the lodge. You guys find a quiet corner. Most of the room is empty. They're able to still get you some cabbage rolls and some warm rye bread.
White or red wine, dear?
Both, please.
All right.
Interesting.
Okay, I would like some background on who both of you are and where you came from, how you found me.
Before you guys get into that, and before you explain to her your background of how you found her, I'll go ahead and just let the chat know kind of who we're looking at. Like I described you as a tall woman and a short, rumpled man. But like,
I mean, it's
That's all
fairly
you get.
accurate. I'll let you go first. I feel
All
like
right.
you've put much more thought into your character. I should make sure I know
So
exactly.
Williams is a tall woman. She's fairly broad-shouldered and strong-looking. She is wearing a very respectable tweed skirt suit. She is an academic, something of an expert on the arcane and the occult. She is currently from London, but originates in Philadelphia.
you're slightly older than the rest of
Yes.
the group has been.
Yes. She's definitely got a matronly air about her. Yes.
Noted.
So yeah, 'cause
Nice.
Nellie was the oldest at 30-ish.
Yeah.
Pretty young.
I thought Gertrude was older than Nellie.
Gertrude was older, she just didn't act like it.
Okay. I am a very short, secretly strong man. I definitely have some very worn clothing. I've had it basically for the last, let's see, how old am I? I'm 41. I've had it for 21 years. I have not bought any new clothing since then. And if I had, it would have been previously used. I'm not a man of means, needless to say. And I have been just wandering around trying to figure out why there are dead bodies all over the place. And
All
along the way,
The Orient Express.
yes, all along the Orient Express, and that is how I met Jude.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, because I consult with Scotland Yard from time to time on matters of the occult. And sometimes I'm a little too excited to consult with Scotland Yard, and they send me away with random people.
To me, in this case, because I've been trying to get information from Scotland Yard, and so they're just like, we'll cut out the middleman. Here's this person.
Good. So yes, you guys actually joined together in order to investigate, back in London, the burning of one Professor Smith, and his death. And then there was the skinned man in a
Library?
library in Paris.
That was
A dead body outside of some catacombs.
And it followed the Orient Express, and you eventually learned about a group of investigators. I mean, that's a stretch. Who
Questionable
were
travelers.
working for that Professor Smith. Luckily, they spent a few weeks in a hospital and you guys were able to finally catch up.
Yes.
Luckily.
Yes. So.
Cool.
So, I guess first we would do some introductions to you. You would not know all of this about us.
Okay, cool.
At least we wouldn't tell you that.
Nope. Okay, what are your introductions?
Well, as I said, my name is Captain Mort. You may call me Captain. And, of course, this is Jude. She is my companion on this trip. We are in search of some answers for Scotland Yard. I'm a private investigator.
Okay. Why are you so interested in these murders?
What murders?
I mean, you talked about the bodies.
Nope.
Oh, crap.
So,
No.
what murders? I'm very curious.
You said you were investigating. What
Well,
else would you be investigating?
History.
I am
You
a
wouldn't
historian, something of the
investigate
sort.
history. Okay, so
Why wouldn't you investigate history? What else is a historian?
I mean, you would call that something else.
Of course, Mortimer, there was also the question of the man who was
The man
found
who,
in the caves that they called
yes.
Yard about. I'm sure we got a telegram at some point about Helmut Grossinger.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you know about murders? Apparently.
I mean, I assumed that's what you were investigating.
Yes, you said you know something
I mean,
about them.
you said you were working with the Scotland Yard.
Well, of course, and particularly
You're
interested in.
Tag along.
She's the tag along.
Right.
It doesn't look that way.
Yeah. So what? Okay, so if not murders, what are you investigating?
Well, I'm still very curious about this
String of
murders.
unfortunate events that
yeah.
seems to follow a particular group of, what was it, 3 Americans and 1 English woman?
Does not sound good.
How much of the wine are you drinking?
I'm probably halfway through at this point. Halfway through my 2 glasses.
1 glass in.
Okay.
Okay.
So we did hear about a Helmut Grossinger. What do you know of this man?
We came to the city to find him.
Helmut Grossinger is from Triest. He was outside the caverns.
He's the
he was the
crazy guy.
cuckoo cuckoo guy.
Oh, I thought he was the
was
guy
the-
that we were trying to. What
You
was
are
his
trying
name?
to find Dr. Morick in this town.
Oh. Okay. We ran into him when we were in
Triest.
Triest. And he gave us some information about some cults we were looking into. And
Do you follow cults?
no.
It's very odd that you would look into cults and not have any interest in cults.
Well-
See, I have a very distinct interest in cults as it's something of my area of expertise.
Okay, so here's the deal. We are doing research for a Dr. Nellie Newton for her
Yes, the English woman.
She's the teacher. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes. And so we've been doing different things on the Orient Express and finding different things and talking to different people. And we've been to a bunch of different places, and now we're here looking for a dude.
Oh, you're looking for someone here in Vinkovici.
Yeah. Who might that be?
Who are you looking for? Yes.
Dr.
Morik.
Boric.
Ah. Do we know about Dr. Morik at this point?
When you got into town, did you stop by the police station?
I mean, yeah, we would have checked in.
There was a body, but they were not yet sure who it was.
Okay.
Because somebody took the wallet.
What did
not me.
this
No.
Dr. Morik look like? We probably would have looked.
I don't know. I've never seen him.
Oh, okay. And why are you looking for a Dr. Morik?
Because we found his daughter. I don't remember.
Somebody else sent you here to look for him, and you happened to run.
It's the guy who has all the
okay.
simulator
Yeah.
parts. But we don't know that.
We were sent by a friend. And then we ended up finding his daughter here.
You keep varied friends across Europe in odd
Yeah.
places?
Yep.
Ah, fascinating.
Yep.
Note-taking.
We travel a significant amount, so, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
being a
it's-
race car driver,
It
obviously.
seems as though you guys have, oh gosh, I don't even know. Paris, you have been to
Hassan.
Lausanne,
Oh,
thank
Lausanne
you.
was a delightful place to visit in your way.
Yeah.
It
Yep, it was good in.
Milan, Venice, Trieste.
I'm glad you know all of them. Yes. If you would like to rattle them all off, that is what I would have done.
Yes.
Yeah, Paris, Lausanne,
Trees.
Milan, Venice, Trieste, Sofia, or
The small town?
Belgrade. Belgrade? Sofia. Wherever you were in the hospital. I'm spacing on it right now. And now Vinkovic.
Central? Oh, no, that's the hotel that we stayed at. And who might your friend be who lives out here?
This guy's name.
Drapeau.
Drapeau?
Monsieur Drapeau.
And he's the black market person.
Zagreb. That's
Zagreb,
you.
that's it.
You met him in Zagreb. And yes, he just requested that you guys go and find his friend, Dr. Morik.
As a favor.
Interesting that you would do a favor for a stranger in a...
I mean, he wasn't a
is an
stranger. We were-
import-export specialist.
Oh, that is true.
Are you guys carrying merchandise with you?
Mostly just archaeological tools that we can use for Nellie's research.
Oh, what kind of tools? I see that you have a crowbar on your hip.
Yeah, well, I'm a mechanic / race car driver, so.
I don't think I've heard of you. Have you raced any time recently?
Mostly in America.
Okay.
I was like, oh, dick.
Sorry. I've done my homework.
It's an odd juxtaposition of events that places a race car driver aboard a train for the Orient, isn't it?
Well,
It
it
is,
was
it
a
is.
favor to another friend of
I see.
mine, and that's where I met Dr. Nellie.
I see.
So,
More note taking.
yes.
Well, interesting. Do you happen to know where we could? Well, I guess if your friends are looking for this.
Dr. Morik.
Okay, Dr. Morik. Would it be wise to go find him?
I mean, yes, if you have any information on his whereabouts.
No.
Cool. Cool.
only arrived this afternoon.
Yes. And we are in search of your compatriots.
I mean,
Well,
you could look in the hotel room.
yeah. I mean, I'm supposed to meet them back at the hotel, probably in the morning. Probably. So, would you like to get a hotel room?
No,
Sorry?
thank you.
My bad.
I will pass on that one. And thank you for your kind offer.
If you guys need an idea, roll, intelligence.
I'm ready.
Spectacular.
I got nothing.
I got
I'm
a
just tired and hungry.
special.
And too much wine.
Yeah, roll a Constitution saving throw for me there.
Not a special. Whatever it's called. Extreme.
How's your Constitution?
I succeeded.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. You're not like drunk yet. You do know if you are looking for her companions, the hotel room would be the place to go. If you guys choose to go there, you absolutely can. Spoiler alert, you're gonna find it empty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
Well, wouldn't we find the lady there?
Yasmina there?
Yes.
They left
'Cause I
her
do
by
remember we,
No,
like,
no,
herself?
no.
left,
Well,
and then we, like,
they
brought her
did like
back.
a back and like they went somewhere and then they took her back to the hotel and then they snuck out of the hotel. Like it was an ordeal.
Yeah.
It depends. If you guys go like right now, it'll be empty. If you go in like 30 minutes, she'll be there.
Gertrude dosed her with brandy and sent her to bed.
Yeah.
Do
You-
we have other people that we would want to investigate while we're here? We haven't necessarily met anyone.
Mm-mm. You haven't. So I mean, you can always go see Dr. Belenzara. Who I mean, that was that really creepy room with all the taxidermy animals.
Yeah, but I don't want to go back because I get the...
But you have two detectives.
I mean, you have
With
a
you?
private investigator who might have authority from Scotland Yard.
Question.
There's also or do you want to just like sneak them in and show them and be like, dude, we found this. This is the guy you're looking for, not us.
We are very suspicious of you at this point.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
You guys haven't really
sus.
given me much to go off of anyway, so...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. They are suspicious. Apparently, they've been following you across the country or the continent.
And you mentioned murders.
That was not fair. I thought that was part of our conversation before.
There's the fact that you saw some sort of weird animal
Right, so
Out
I
in
was
the
gonna
woods.
suggest maybe
Man
we look in
ripping.
the forest.
at
could
like
be
midnight.
really
Cool.
I will likely opt to not go into the
I'm
forest.
like,
in
okay, I
the
think
middle of
that's
the night.
the Jude's phobia is werewolves.
Brand new characters.
Right? You guys just got here. I mean,
So
And
do you want us to
yes.
get off of your tail, or
you can also, that the group was going to the Rose Garden in order to look for the archaeologist's assistant
Mm-hmm.
and the reporter.
Right, I forgot about that.
Who apparently were having some sort of
Secret affair.
tryst.
I did not.
Hence the Rose Garden.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We saw them at the lodge and they were definitely having like a little like passing notes back and forth, like I'll meet you there. Blah, blah,
See
blah.
you soon.
Yeah, we should go there. That sounds really fun.
okay?
Okay, so you guys gonna head back to the Rose Garden?
And then will that put us there around the right time
yeah.
to join the police in the examination of the bodies in the dumpster?
We'll see.
It might. Yeah, let's go there.
Okay.
If this is a likely place to find the
You
people we are looking
go
for,
back.
it makes
Exactly.
sense
That
for us
makes
to go
sense.
there.
Yep, knock that bad boy back. All right. Yeah, you head back. The motel, as it is, seems quiet as you walk up to the front door. You gonna get a room? You gonna...
So do we have information as to where they are? Like
You
which room they are
don't.
in?
You left before anyone could get information. There is a reception desk.
I will
Okay.
boldly go into this very quiet place and announce that the captain has arrived and I am here looking for some people.
What languages do you speak?
I speak Turkish and English.
Okay, so you're saying this in...
Which
Turkish.
one would make more sense for this location?
Yeah, definitely.
I would say it in Turkish then.
Okay. The two receptionists look up and they look at you and they go, what information do you need?
Have you seen 3 people? And then I would list off like some really random aspects of these people that I know, like heights and like hair colors and handlebar mustache.
They
Wait,
look at you.
okay, I'm gonna stop you though and say, hold on. We're looking for the professor's assistant people.
I would say, oh yes, and we are looking for those 2 people as well. Here are their characteristics.
Oh, you know their characteristics?
No.
Okay, so you make up characters.
No, for sure. For sure I'm making up who I think they would look like.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna be like, guy with like the nerd glasses.
While he does that, can I see if I can just get the register off the desk while he has the reception?
Oh, there's no register on the
There's
desk.
no register.
Yeah, they don't
No,
keep
no.
a tab.
Yeah.
I mean, makes sense.
They kind of stare at you and go, we do not know any of those people that you just mentioned. Do you have
Names? Yes, I have names.
You have names.
Yes, I'm looking for a Gertrude, a Mason, a Nellie, and a scholar, and a something else.
Wow.
No. Nobody like that here.
Dr. Morik?
No, Dr. Morik.
Are his
Can I attempt to intimidate them?
Sure.
Wait, what is my intimidate? Bummer. I do not. My
Okay.
small stature
What
does
is
not
your
go far.
intimidate? I want to know.
25.
Makes sense.
They kind of look at you and they're just confused. They're like, what? We've answered every question asked of us, but we cannot help you with those people you are looking for. We have no record of them. The one on the left smacks the other one, goes, and you hear them whisper, and you hear something about, wait, the guy with the handlebar mustache? Yeah, was that him?
I have an
Yes,
amazing
he-
listen.
Yeah.
I'm totally rolling this. Oh, I'm 1 off from a hard success.
Are you gonna
Yes,
use your
I will. Because
you have so much?
I don't actually have that much.
Oh my god.
But why not?
Indeed. You hear them say something about, wasn't there a guy with a handlebar mustache who came in and wanted to report the bodies out back? Yeah, but everybody else he's describing doesn't make sense. But there was a guy with a handlebar mustache. Do you think if we tell him that, they'll leave? Yeah. Okay. Let's tell him that the man with the handlebar mustache has been taken to the police station. So they turn back to you.
Before they say anything, I'll say, thank you for your time. We will be on our way.
You're welcome. I don't know.
What did you get?
I'll
Morkvar?
escort us outside and say, there are already dead bodies here. I will say that to you.
Of course there are.
Charlie.
Do I hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not quiet about it.
What?
Where did you say? Well, actually, doesn't matter. I already know your friends were here.
Perhaps the hotel is the best
I
place
don't
to
know
go at
if
the
they
moment.
were ever here, honestly. They could
well-
have not made it here.
Let's go check around back, because they did mention that the bodies may have been back there. So.
Okay. Now you go around back, and there is one lowly patrolman who got the bummer job sitting out by the dumpster
Guarding the bodies.
February 4th in 1923.
An unfortunate job.
Or, actually, it's after February 4th, because that's when you guys woke up. It's more like February 6th. 1923, and the bodies have been removed and taken back to the police station. And I'm assuming you're going to talk to the poor patrolman.
Yes.
He says, yeah, 2 foreigners reported the body. They've been taken back to the police station. The 2 bodies were taken back to the police station. And I have to sit here and guard the crime scene because there might be more clues out here.
Did they identify
well,
the bodies?
No, they were scalped.
Like
Interesting.
squares? By any chance?
Not squares.
I'm going to be noting,
Like,
taking
yeah, I've
notes as to the
definitely
fact that
paid
you
attention
said
to what she
square
said.
patch of.
Yeah.
I'm currently not concerned about that.
yeah. And yeah, the patrolman also tells you that they're several days old. So-
Several
they
days
have been
old.
here for a
So you are aware that then whoever you guys saw that you thought was the reporter was probably a brother of the skin.
Makes sense.
I mean, but they don't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I will speak to this lowly patrolman and say, well, I am, who am I this time? I am Captain Matt. I'm actually a private detective here searching for these bodies. I'm here to see if we can find anything else. This is my assistant, and this is someone who has been following us today.
You've been following me, okay? A witness.
A witness, thank you. She has been following us.
We're just trying to keep the poor girl safe, that's all.
I need to make a luck roll first.
What was the other roll? Because I was rolling for the non-luck one.
No. The luck one is first.
Okay, I rolled luck.
Okay, you're successful?
Very.
Oh, okay. The other one is a spot hidden.
I did not do that. But
Can I look?
I would like to push that.
How
I got
was
an
your luck?
11 out of 54.
you add a bonus die to your spot hidden.
Cool. And then I got a hard success on the spot hidden.
Okay. And
Oh,
by
check
the way,
mark.
are you check marking your skills that you're using?
I forgot to earlier, but I haven't actually done anything
many
successfully.
You'll advance. You will advance.
I don't think I've done anything successfully
Before
yet.
I had 2 and now I have like 12.
Smart
Not that
hidden. I tried intimidating. That didn't work.
No. You listened.
I did listen, and I listened well. Double check mark.
Excellent. You still need advanced ones, and that's fine.
I didn't succeed.
Okay. So you would like to. So luck would have it that the patrolman is fine with you kind of digging through the garbage. He's like, if you find anything, let me know.
Of course. Of course.
It's
my
cold and it's gross, and I'll hold the light. He sits there with the torch.
Good luck.
job. How tall is he?
I mean, taller than you.
Is he taller than my dear Judith?
No.
I will suggest that she holds the light so that he does not have to, I don't know, stand weird.
Okay. You pull out your pen light.
Good old pen light.
And then your spot hidden. You got a regular success there.
Hard success.
A hard success. Ooh. All right.
Should I make it an extreme success?
That
I'm really
is
close to that as well.
Up to you.
Nah, I'll just stay hard. Yep, I regretted it. very
I'm
quickly.
sorry, I should have been able to hold my composure better than that.
Okay. Yep. Moving on.
I
Meow.
am moving fast. I'm just still trying to find it. Okay. As you look through,
Not as funny as it should.
you have found out that the bodies were nude, wrapped in a rug from the rose garden, left out here for several days. They had been scalped. But as you are searching through it, you find just a strange talisman. And as you pick it up, it kind of almost crinkles underneath your hand. It's probably not made of paper.
Pull out a handkerchief and hold out a hand. You shouldn't touch that.
Proceeds to put it in jacket pocket.
Okay. He's gonna be that type of player.
Oh God.
I'll give it to you later.
Okay.
I don't want the police officer to see
Yeah,
what
for
you've,
sure.
what we've discovered.
Sure. Okay.
It
Do we
crinkles?
see anything on the outside of the dumpster, like
Would I imagine?
footprints, blood drops?
There was enough movement over the last several days that anything is obscured.
Okay, any signs of the scalp portion?
No.
Cool.
I have questions about. Oh, go ahead.
I also have questions. Do I, as long as we've been on the trail of these weirdos who are murdering their way across Europe,
100%.
100%.
We're on the same page here.
Yeah. Told you this is going to be a great episode for Charlie.
Do I recognize the occult signs of someone being scalped? Like, does that ring any bells in my knowledge
Roll
of
some occultism.
Straight thing.
Whoa!
That would be an extreme.
Check mark.
It is. Check mark.
Nice. Yes. This would be a notable sign of the Brothers of the Skin.
Until she finds the occult statues in Gertrude's bag. Because no, Becca, I didn't forget about those.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
I forgot. I didn't know about
I forget what those mean. Yeah. So, Brothers of the Skin would do something like scalping. It seems a little excessive.
Mm-hmm.
They usually don't need that much.
I was thinking to. Anyway, sorry.
Little excessive.
I mean.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you.
Seems uncalled for.
I want you to roll like a courage, but that's not one of the.
I could write it in.
Right.
There's.
It could be like
It could be a power roll.
fast
Yeah, roll a power roll.
I would say power would equate to that. Nicely.
Whoa.
I'm gonna use 2 luck to get a success.
Okay. You feel a chill kind of roll down your spine, and you just kind of wonder, is there somebody wandering around that looks like you right now?
Cool. I'm gonna keep my eye out for that.
As well, you should.
Cool.
Yeah.
How freaked out does Charlie look right now?
Not terribly.
Okay.
Because there's no bodies,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a thing.
But she does not look happy standing out here in the cold.
Okay.
Next to where bodies were found. Makes sense.
Neither does the police officer. So.
Mortimer, are you finished?
Yes. Not Nothing of use in here, only some discarded nasties.
Yeah.
At this point, you guys are welcome to go anywhere in the village.
Because we can't go to...
You can.
Okay,
At this point.
we're doing that. 100%
By now.
doing that. I can't not.
Then I would suggest we go to the police station.
That seems reasonable.
Okay.
Miss Johnson, or may I call you Charlotte?
Charlie, please.
Charlotte.
Ah, Charlie. Quite a lovely name.
I
Thank
just
you.
kind of wrap an arm around you, just nicely, comforting,
I accept.
around the shoulders.
So it's been a while since
I'm going to like
got a mama.
squirm my way out of the trash can because I'm a little bit buried. And
Yeah.
Are you coming, Matthew?
on it.
I thought it was Marcus.
Apparently there's a few of them. We're working with it.
The patrolman points out the direction of the station. You remember you were here earlier.
Yeah.
And you head back. Do you walk through the station? Or walk towards the station? I need everybody to make a listen roll.
No.
Success.
Dang it.
Where is it? Ew, no.
It is nearing midnight. And as you walk along, the silence is almost deafening. And those who succeeded on your listen roll, you notice it. There is something unnatural about this silence. Dogs are not barking, cats are not moving through the streets. There's no owls, you don't hear wildlife. You don't even hear people. No babies crying. I mean, it's midnight, but this is silent.
Everyone hold. And as I say that, I will pull out my pistol.
In a police station.
Heading towards it.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. That makes me feel better.
I have a license for this.
Mm-hmm. Just kidding. I mean, you might.
I totally have a license for it.
I'm gonna pull out
I'm gonna
my
roll for it
crowbar because I see him pull out his gun
Okay.
and don't
I'm
notice
just gonna-
that it's weirdly silent.
I'm gonna look kind of around.
Okay.
Do I see anything?
Make a spot hidden check.
Can I also look?
Sure.
Can I look for myself?
Whoa.
Yeah.
I got an extreme success.
I don't see anything. I think I'm blind.
And
I mean, it's dark.
Okay.
Like, it's real dark.
apparently not deaf, but kind of deaf.
I mean, it's one of those things where the lights have almost dimmed in the streets, and it's dark. How did you?
I failed. Do I sense an occult presence?
Do I get another like Spidey tingle on my back?
Make a power roll.
Yes! Dang it! Come on! I've been rolling
Occult.
80s.
Make a power roll.
Power roll, power roll.
I succeed.
Hey!
There is something malevolent out there.
All
I
right.
really want to know what I would have known.
Don't.
Shucks.
You, on guard, barely catch it of movement on the rooftop, and it disappears.
I'll probably
Captain?
like.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going crazy. Was he already crazy?
Shall we
No, he's the most sane man I've ever known.
go inside? And
This is question.
I'll slowly start walking
The door is open.
toward. Yeah.
The door of the police station is open. That doesn't seem good, Captain.
No, it does not.
It's not just open. It's not on its hinges.
Everyone, I'll watch front. Someone watch our 6.
Sure.
And I'll walk inside. I will be quiet doing so.
Okay, make a stealth roll.
Success.
You are quiet as you walk in. You going to
And-
stealth?
Do I have to?
You don't have to.
And looking
Or I have to
around,
use the-
do I... Because normally there would be people at the front. We were there just several hours ago, so... Are we seeing anyone?
Not standing, not at desks. In fact, it's not until you drop your eyes to double check where you're standing that you realize there's a puddle of blood in front of you. And you trace it back, and that might be a hand from behind the desk.
Well, normally this is who I would call. I would say, Jude, would you mind checking the telephones?
Sure. Why don't you stay out here, dear, and just keep an eye out, okay?
You got it.
Don't run off.
Noted.
I'll suggest you stay behind me, rather.
I'll
than
pick up
stand
the
outside by yourself.
pick up the phone line.
Works.
It works.
Shall we ring the nearest?
Yeah, operator.
Zagreb is the nearest town.
City.
Yeah, city. Okay. Get us the detective inspector on duty at Zagreb, please.
Pardon?
Zagreb police station.
Eins Moment. Sorry, I knew German is not accurate. There's a brief second, and then it seems to patch through.
And the receiver.
He's
Oh.
a ways away.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You're-
I'm not
you're
gonna-
welcome to head over there. However, as you are waiting, and right as someone on the other end goes, "Yeah, Zagreb." There is a clang as you hear some sort of big metal door further in, maybe down a flight of stairs, hit something. You two hear pounding footsteps. And you see someone coming running up some stairs. He
I'm gonna yell, "Halt!"
What do I
does not stop.
Do I see the person?
When he says halt, you look, and there's this big shape. You can't make it out, but it's coming at you. It is heading for that front door, and you guys are in the way.
Is it closed? Is it a human? Is it?
It's close. It's coming closer. It's getting closer. It's nearly
I'm gonna
on
drop
top
to
of
the
you.
floor and try and shoot at it.
I wanna
Okay.
see. It's a person.
Yeah, it's a person running at you. Shoot.
Oh God.
Yes, we're done here.
Please God.
That is a success.
Please
Okay.
don't.
Do your damage.
I feel like it's Mason, and I'm really scared right now.
I mean, it probably is, let's be honest. I don't know. Okay, hold on. It's a D10. That's a D8, D10. Okay.
Does it look like the size of Mason?
As soon as he lets you know the damage, I will let you know what
No,
you see.
no.
7.
7. Okay. He puts a round in this man running at you guys. And he drops, and so it is just you between this man and the door, and a round hits his chest, and he kind of flings himself back. And as he does so, you see this like silvery sheen in his left hand. Except it's not really a hand, it's more of a claw. And long dark fingernails have sprouted. And yeah, it's a bulky man with a handlebar mustache. And he screams at the pain and then goes just running faster, leaps him, hits you, knocks you flat, and goes sprinting out into the night.
I don't know what to do.
That was probably once Mason. But roll an intelligence check for me.
How much of the...
I definitely failed. Can I push it?
Sure.
How much of that do I see?
The man did not go down.
Oh, I succeeded.
That silvery thing in his hand. Was it the medallion from the caves? What was that pocket watch Mason found once upon a time in Paris? Well, whatever it is no longer sane. And something occultish has taken over him. I need to make a sanity roll.
Yeah.
Drew just dropped the telephone receiver by now.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it makes sense. Your
I did it.
your traveling buddy
You're
has
okay.
fallen to the floor and
Okay.
shot something.
You are going to take 2 points of sanity loss, but you are going to gain 2 points in mythos for shape-shifting.
Ooh.
Shape shifting.
And again, do I see what this person thing looks like at all?
It was a man, but it
I'm
was a
gonna
big
yell
man. And he
Mason as he runs away
doesn't
and
stop.
probably start bawling my eyes out.
The foaming at the mouth, the screaming, the fact that he didn't fall down when he was shot. Something that's not Mason anymore. He just went to the police station.
No, I
Yeah.
was actually kind of expecting something maybe like this. Okay, so since I just heard her say Mason, I now know who that was. Or his,
Used to be.
yeah,
You did fall down into a puddle of blood.
I figured since it was at my feet just before I fell.
Yeah.
Retrieved the phone receiver.
It's a deadline.
Oh, great. Exchange!
Yeah, operator.
Zagreb again. Police station.
And then here transferring.
You're gonna want to send people down here.
Yeah, Zagreb. People down. Are you talking in English, Arabic?
Arabic, probably. Because we're close enough to Turkey.
You hear garble back.
Okay. I'll try English. Vito Vici? You might need to send some
English.
people down here.
Yeah, English.
Yes.
I speak English.
Very good.
Lucky you.
I'm Jude Williams with Scotland Yard, and you have a problem down here in Vito Vici. I think most of your police force has been killed. You might want to send someone down here.
What? Vita
Like-
Beach. Judith, hang on 1 second. What is your name again? And you're gonna start to go through like the whole. What is your name? How are you there? Scotland Yard. Why are you there? How many people are dead? Is there anyone alive?
Yes, one crazy person thing that ran away. Probably
No,
what killed
any
your people.
policemen?
No.
No, none.
Is there anyone alive?
I'll
Captain?
sort of scramble and look around the corner, maybe down the stairs from where
The patrolman is
Mason.
still alive.
Oh.
So there is someone still alive.
Yeah, there's
He's
one
not
patrolman on the Rose Garden who wasn't here. He's probably still
There
alive.
is nobody alive. They are all torn apart in an almost beastly fashion.
I will make the assumption that it was Mason who has done this.
And everybody watching last week knows it was not Mason.
Correct. It may have been a.
Friendly neighborhood vampire.
Oh, I was gonna say a lover of chickens, but you know. Okay. I'll say I don't see or hear anyone.
No. One survivor maybe at the Rose Garden. You should send someone.
With your extreme spot hidden from earlier, you do find a lady's jacket down in the cell.
Okay.
But otherwise, there's no other sign of anyone else.
I assume this is where I assume there's like a door off of its hinges, and that's what we would have heard earlier.
You are correct.
Okay. I'll
So
go ahead
he
and
was in
grab
the
that.
cell?
I'll grab that jacket and maybe look at it and see if there's anything.
There's a very nice embroidery and Newton on the back collar.
A witness.
Ha!
Evidence.
We have something! As my already not great-looking suit is coated in blood.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is so random. Would there happen to be any sort of showers inside the police station?
No.
Okay.
There is a bathing area, but it's definitely one of those like you haul buckets and fill the tub.
Okay.
It's kind of chilly right now.
Yeah.
It's a little dirty.
Not about that. Not opposed to using a shower with lots of dead bodies around, but you know,
He has his limits.
I do have my limits.
You get to discover them.
No, you just found one.
One, yeah. So you're gonna bounce off that one and head in another direction.
Yeah, I will go upstairs and say to Jude,
Yes.
it appears we have a witness, and I'll pass this off to you.
Newton, isn't that one of the?
It is.
Yes.
When I hear that, I'm gonna get up and grab it.
Oh yeah, and yeah, it's Nellie's jacket.
Okay, I'm gonna take it and run downstairs
Okay,
and see what else is there.
okay. You comb through the cell and there's nothing else down in the cell.
Is there anything in like the desks of the police
Like
officers?
evidence. So you go through all the desks. Yeah, you find
Evidence locker.
you find Nellie's bag with her camera. You find some of Mason's stuff, including a pistol marked in lockup. But your crowbar can.
Would there
Yeah, I was
have
gonna
been a
grab
pocket
that.
watch? Would they have taken that? He wouldn't have hidden that one.
Right.
I'm
There is
curious.
a pocket watch
Yes.
with Mason stuff.
Okay. Is there a lot of our stuff?
There's a lot of stuff from Nellie and Mason,
Okay.
but nobody else's stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna grab that.
Okay.
Just all of our stuff.
At that time, I guess while she's down there, we probably would want to keep an eye on her at this
It's like
point.
a nice big overcoat.
Definitely.
Correct.
Practically
I might
materials.
have a private word with you and say,
I'll
should we see if
The gun
the
is
other
in the
body
pocket,
is
yeah.
here while we have free access?
Sure. You went to look for that?
Yes.
Cold
Okay.
storage. Okay. There are 3 bodies. 2 scalped, 1 with half of his face blown off. That one you saw earlier.
What?
Yes. I guess I would have seen her grab a camera.
She's got like an overcoat on. She's got a big bag.
An overcoat.
Yes, a very nice overcoat.
May I use that coat while I get this one washed?
Nope.
Thank you.
Nope.
I mean, her arms are in it. I mean, it comes to like here on
And
her.
I am also holding a crowbar. Keep that in mind. And I'm bigger than you.
Truth. Also, can you just everyone please imagine a small size 50 person wearing a size, I believe, 75
I think
person's
it's-
overcoat?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely attempt to get my hands on that at some point. Yeah. Anyways, I guess I would have noticed that she would have grabbed a camera.
The camera's in the bag.
Oh, okay, so I wouldn't have seen that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that is something that, oh, if only I had a camera.
Oh look, I have one. Haha.
Do you have a camera?
Yes.
Ah, may I?
I'll take pictures.
Young eyes such as yours should not be privy to corpses.
I've had worse done to me.
Oh,
My dear, we
I'm gonna pull out
must
my
talk.
notepad and write that down, and then
Okay, let's look at the
trauma
bodies.
question mark, and say, okay, please take quality pictures.
Cool. I will do my best. We'll see how this goes.
I'm just imagining like Charlie like crying tears and like just has like dirt on her face and just like tear
Yep.
lines and
Yep.
like
Yep.
like taking pictures.
Yep. I'm going to ask you to make a sanity roll for these bodies. However, you do get a bonus dice because you are dissociating. I'll roll.
Sanity, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank God for bonus die.
You're still going to take 1 point from the grisliness, and you two, even though you've already seen the other body for the 2 scalped ones, I need you guys to make regular sanity rolls.
Okay.
Ah, poop.
Okay.
I failed.
1 point.
Okay.
3 points.
Ah, you always do this to me. Why you gotta be
You
so
fail. That's not my fault. You started out with plenty.
You said 3.
And then I would like to go through and just make sure that none of the police officers are missing any skin. Because I don't know anything
Okay.
about there being a separate
Yeah.
entity here. So I'm wanting to see, I
good
want to
point.
mark the differences between the
Okay.
manner
Do
of death.
I know the difference?
I'd probably be there right with you, like jotting down
Yep.
notes and
Yeah.
So for you, in your understanding of like how the Brothers of the Skin work,
Also,
It-
potentially knowing vampires.
the scalped people, probably Brothers of the Skin, very nice instruments have removed the scalps. Clean lines, not jagged, like the face blown off. That looks like a gun. And yeah, the other police would be definitely vampire.
Cool. Do I know any of these 3 people?
Nope. One of them might be the dark-haired woman that you saw in the lodge.
Okay. Okay.
But you know she doesn't have her hair anymore, so they're not entirely sure.
Nice. Cool.
Totes cool.
All right. I tried to take pictures to the best of my ability.
Okay. Make an education roll. Ooh.
I got an
nice.
extreme success.
Alright. Under arts or crafts or whatever that is. Over there. Right photography.
I believe. Oh yeah, arts and crafts.
Okay.
You're gonna get 12%
Sick.
in photography. Congratulations. With your 8. Yeah, with your extreme success there. You think you figured out photography.
Do I get a check mark for that?
I feel like you got 16 out of it.
You have not gotten a check mark yet. Because you haven't used that. You're using your understanding of how machines work.
Yeah, so I was trying to tell the difference between a skinned body and a vampirically drained body.
How's
I'll
your
have you-
occultism going?
I can tell you if you'd
Occultism?
I'll definitely have you explain all of it to me as you're analyzing.
Success.
Okay. The policemen are not skinned.
This looks something different.
Yes, is much more beast-like teeth marks, claw marks. Some of them seem to have less blood in them than they should, and that's not like around the bodies. So some were destroyed and killed because they were in the way. Others seem to have been fed upon.
Have you seen anything like this?
Have I seen anything like this or read about things like this? Probably. Have read.
Sure, vampires though.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to be like cults and like
Yeah.
weirdos.
Yeah.
You never had put any stock in vampirism.
I would also reach out to Charlie and say,
Explanation, that is
you mentioned lots of murders. Have you seen anything like this before?
No. Honestly, I've lost more sanity tonight than I ever have in my entire life, so
How
no.
much have you lost?
I mean, it's not that much. I've lost like 4.
It's like the first time though.
This is the most bodies I've ever seen in my life.
So you've never seen,
I mean, I've seen vampire bites and skinned people, but that's about it. Nothing like this.
Back up just a little bit and say that one again.
Okay, can we get out of here first?
Yes, come with me.
yes, please explain as we leave.
I would rather not talk about it in the streets.
Is it still quiet?
I don't know of any strange beasts that eat people around here, do you? There's definitely some claw marks here.
Well, there's some in the woods.
Like what?
Like a bear pig man or something. I don't remember.
Oh,
Man,
a
bear, pig.
man bear pig. Man bear pig.
You guys, considering the fact that the hotel room where she was last in was empty, decide to take her maybe back to yours for a hot cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's now about 1:30ish in the morning. So as you walk, there's a cat on the streets. You hear animals moving around again. Whatever they were hiding from has gone.
Interesting.
This man-bear creature.
Also, vampire?
Everyone knows vampires are stories, Captain.
Yes, but she mentioned it.
Okay, I'm gonna sit on one of the beds and take a deep breath and just start
And
bawling.
holding that cup of tea. Yes. Bawling. Weeping.
Poor thing. I'll take one of the throw blankets and just kind of wrap her up and just.
I'm very good at psychology, so I understand that she is very sad at this point.
Your psychoanalysis is amazing.
No, psychology.
Sure.
Psychoanalysis.
Right. She's clearly very sad. Will you make a con roll with a penalty die,
Me?
Rachel? Yeah. And a penalty die means you take the worst.
Oh.
Bonus die, you take the best.
That is so sad.
Did you fail or make it?
I failed.
You failed. You get super drowsy as Judith rubs your back.
Makes sense.
And you bawl and drink your tea.
I think the child's been through rather a lot.
She can go to sleep. I will. adjourn to
You'll
my room.
allow it.
She collapses on the bed
Okay.
in the big overcoat.
You should go get cleaned up.
I wanted
Because
Yes, I.
that is not your best look.
Ew. Nasty.
There's a bathroom, bathing room in this hotel that you can use.
I would go and no, I wouldn't have it laundered. I would
Dunk it in the tub with you.
probably actually.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you have another set of clothes?
I
Yeah.
do. These are
But
my
he's
nice
gonna,
ones.
But he's gonna wash these because if you don't wash the blood now, it's gonna
It'll
set.
set and
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I would. It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna make note that I will forever have like a weird outline on one of my coats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you do anything while Charlie is asleep?
Like
Yeah. She has a bag.
we're in our room.
Yes.
No, not her. Okay. I would go through the bag, definitely.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
a book
Ah,
full
a
of professor notes.
No.
Um, and you have Dr. Nellie Newton's
Sweet.
notes from the last month.
I will just spend the time transcribing those into my own journal.
Roll an education roll.
Okay. I'm gonna keep it. It was 54, so yeah, success.
54 out of what?
70.
You get about 77% of it.
Sweet. 77% of Nellie's nose.
Mm-hmm.
And there is another book, right? Because we got that book from.
There's a lot of books in there.
Okay.
But the notes was the one that you were like, oh, and she details vampire interactions.
Interesting.
Interaction.
Okay, did not believe in vampires before. This is interesting, and they're all certifiably insane.
Sure.
Likely the ones who murdered everyone.
Most likely.
Schizophrenia? Multiple personalities.
So
Megalomania.
you spend the rest of the evening that you are awake transcribing.
Do I get the stuff about like the Sedefkar simulacrum too?
Yes.
Okay.
You get essentially the first 77% of the book. Triest and after you don't have.
Okay, everything before Treast.
Mm-hmm. So you know nothing about any Wendigos or shapeshifters, but
Gotcha.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
I would have gotten cleaned off and probably just put on some pajamas
Uh-huh.
and then gone back into that room. And
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I say
yeah.
pajamas, I'm imagining a solid, just like tattered red onesie with like butt flap, and I'm walking in
Is
in
it
that.
missing a button?
No, but the button that would have been missing has been resewn on in an odd spot.
Okay, so there is like a crack.
Quite possibly.
Okay.
She already knows this is how I live.
Yes. Yes. Now we all do. All right, and do you go to sleep?
I would ask her a quick question as to if she found anything while Charlie has
I
been
will.
sleeping, but then I would have fairly quickly after that gone to sleep.
Busy transcribing Dr. Nugent's notes. There's interesting things here.
Okay. I'll just page through not like scroll through the books, but like look at what books Nellie has and then just make a mental note and then
There's some
sleep.
weird ones. There's also like the life and time, like the rise and fall of the Roman Empire. Like,
She
Interesting.
remembered that?
say that again?
She remembered our trip back to.
No.
That was from
Oh, that was
another.
the.
That was from Yasmina.
Yeah.
Crusade
Mhm.
Yeah.
too. Okay.
No, she does not remember. I don't think any of you guys remember.
No,
it.
I don't think so.
I lost that memory when
What
I
memory?
lost Mason.
I don't know what you're talking about. So you guys then fall asleep. You wake up in the morning, rouse Charlie, realize you need to feed her some food.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, side
Go ahead.
question. Would we be able to go to the dream train? Or is that just like completely foreign? I'm not saying like at this moment because we wouldn't even know it existed.
Someone would have to take you.
Okay, I see. Okay, sorry. Please.
No, that's fine. You get food in her.
Yep.
and
Plenty of strong coffee too.
She takes you back to your hotel room. You guys walk in to find Ricky on a bed. Yasmina asleep beside him. Some Russian guy sitting in a stool next to him. Nellie comes out of her bedroom looking fresh and awake. A little. You notice she has a nice scarf around her neck.
Hmm.
She sees you. There you are, Charlie. And oh, who are your companions? And that's where we're gonna end.
No.
With everybody coming back, and some completely unaware of what has happened and transpired last night,
Mm-hmm.
and some ruined and perhaps broken from it. Apparently broke Rachel. Uh-oh. Just snapped her in half. I'm sorry. All right, so, so that's Call of Cthulhu. People go crazy and die, and if they don't die, then they make everyone else crazy. Yay, Call of Cthulhu. We love this game. Sort of. But thank you so much to everybody who was watching. Thank you for chats and interacting with each other. And we hope you guys enjoyed it. I understand that it wasn't a, per se, exciting episode, but I think it might have brought some closure to how some things ended. And let you know that, people aren't gone from us forever. They're out there terrorizing the world now.
Except Gertrude. She's definitely gone.
Gertrude is dead.
Or did the brothers of the skin get her because that was probably a pet of the dude?
I still don't know what happened.
No, you still don't know what happened.
Oh, no.
Hey, so that's probably what's going to happen next week as, we make everybody cry again.
We arrest all of them.
Oh, for sure.
Not before
Where are you going to take them?
I don't
Anyway,
know.
that's besides the point.
Can I have snag some handcuffs?
No. Didn't think of it. Thank you to JD for keeping us on air, producing for us. We really appreciate it. Thank you to Phantom of Truth for being our moderator in chat, keeping things going, and just cheering us on in general. Once again, thanks to Kelly Peck, who designed all of our frames. She makes us look really good. Thank you to Petrie's Family Game Store for their support, whether it is dice that curse us or, monster decks.
Which also
They're
kind of
always
curses.
there. Fun fact, in a few weeks is Free RPG Day. That's October 16th. Petrie's is having a game day. If you are elsewhere and not in the Springs, I suggest you check out your own friendly local game store, see if they are doing anything for Free RPG Day, and get signed up. That's, again, October 16th. So check out Petrie's if you're in the area, online if you don't have your own little game store. They are awesome to support us and keep us going. We really appreciate Petrie's. Once again, thank you to you guys, the viewers, to our supporters, our Patreons, and everybody who likes or subscribes to anything that we have or do. We appreciate that you, and we can't game online without your support. So just know that we appreciate it, and we hope you have enjoyed watching this take a rather emotional turn. But soon, the group will be back on the Orient Express, going to find that simulacrum and surviving. Sure. If you like what we do, you can check more of us out over on Ulysses International channel on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and catch up anytime on YouTube to see what we are doing and who we have made cry this week. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I hope you all have a wonderful week and a lovely evening.